I will now explain the graphic code of the diagram. The diagram is composed of nodes represented as these boxes. The white rectangle stands for an operation, and the blue rounded rectangle for an input, output, or input-output parameter. For example, when doing the operation drawing the floor plan, an input parameter could be the number of rooms, or the depth of the building. It happened a lot of times throughout the project that I had to repeat an operation, because new inputs were feeding it. For example, when drawing a facade, the new openings have to be integrated in the floor plan. The operation floor plan has to be iterated. I visualized these feedback loops with colors. Whenever an operation is happening, for the first, second, third time, and so on, the links take these colors. In this case, the operation drawing the facade is happening for the first time, and the floor plan for the second, so the link has a gradient from gray, loop 0, to blue, loop 1. Looking at the name of the input and the operation is however not enough to understand the qualification of the link. Is the input determining the operation, or only informing it, or even influencing it? For example, the depth and the number of rooms are determining the drawing of the floor plan. The line linking the two is full. If a further input, for example, reference, feeds the floor plan operation, it could be informing the drawing. It could also be that the general atmosphere of the reference appeals to me and so influences the way I draw the plan, without determining it or directly informing it. Let's now explain the distribution of the nodes on the axis. I mapped these operations over time using European writing from left to right. The depth dimension represents an idea which was dominating my thoughts all over these 6 months, understanding where the emotional intelligence and the intuition of the architect come into play, as opposed to where the decision-making was rather rational. So, on the front side, we will talk about rational, objective, conscious operations, and towards the back, more emotional, subjective, intuitive, and even sometimes subconscious operations. I decided to pull or push the nodes according to whether I thought they were emotional or rational. On our example, the inputs number of rooms and depth are objective, so they will be pulled towards the front. If we had an input like memory, which is very subjective, it would be pushed in the back. Of course, this is once again very subjective and not an exact science, so I thought the intuitive gesture of pushing and pulling responded well to this.